welcome to Lawrence Live. I'm Dr. Sean Smith, Superintendent of Schools for the Metropolitan School District of Lawrence Township, and I am proud today to bring my very special guest of the Marching Pride. And so I'd like for my coaches and students to introduce themselves.
Yeah, my name is Devin Jobson. I'm the Director of Bands at Lawrence North High School.
I'm Diashmar Marshall, Director of Bands at Lawrence Central High School.
My name is Abby DeSanto, and I go to Lawrence North.
I'm Christopher Chong. I also go to Lawrence North.
I'm Emily Cruz, and I go to Lawrence Central.
Now look, we got students here. Directors, you got the Marching Pride. What do you three guys do here? I got the students here. What's your role?
We're the drum majors.
The drum major. Tell us what the drum majors do.
Oh yeah.
Tell us what you do.
A lot of conducting for the show, but it's also a matter of setting an example for the students and being as a sort of leader of the group.
You guys are three leaders of the Marching Pride. Now I got to go in to the Marching Pride, which has a very special place in my heart. As you all know, we have one marching band for Lawrence Township. They decided to combine. They are the show of the district. They're the pride of the community. Our marching band. Let's talk about it, directors. What have you guys been doing this fall?
This fall, we decided to go a little bit of a different direction. So if anyone saw us this season, you would know that the type of music we were playing is a little bit different. And that's strictly from an educational standpoint. We have to create stronger individual musicians. And I think to do that, Devin and I really talked a lot about making necessary changes. Wasn't sure how people would take it, but it was received very well because we had a really successful season this year. Devin really took a big role in shaping our student leadership team so that we could change our culture and improve our culture within the organization. And Devin can talk a little bit more specifically about that.
Yeah, so as far as student leadership is concerned, we're really big in students taking a pretty big responsibility in how the season goes and how students are interacting with each other and how we interact with people we might bring in or even other bands if we're at competitions and how we're performing. And so, the student leadership aspect and these three were amazing at it. It's all about being a role model. We just talk about being really great people and great musicians.
Well, I'll tell you what, folks, the Marching Pride is big to this community. My first year as superintendent, I learned very quickly. In July, the July 4th parade, if the Marching Pride doesn't show up, there will not be a parade. Okay? That's how important this community and how much the band means to the community and the long tradition we've had of excellence. But you guys are being so humbled here. They're competing at the highest level in various invitations. They compete with Bands of America, and you guys compete at the state championship. Talk about your competition season. Coaches, I don't want to hear from you. Directors, I want to hear from the students. How was your season of competition? Because band is a big thing in the state of Indiana. I come to the contest, and it's big. It's bigger than I know I got the basketball coaches over there, but you guys have a big crowd also.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think my first year going into Lucas Oil, it was crazy because I've never experienced actually performing in a stadium so big, and we got to do that this year too. I think we did it 3 times.
Yeah.
So it was really crazy. We also went to other stadiums. We went to one in Louisville, the Cardinal Stadium. Oh my God, that was
It was
Mhm.
and just seeing not only the crowd but the students so excited, our students so excited to perform. It gives me all the energy I need to perform.
Outstanding. You guys even brought me a few trophies behind us from the state competition that you competed in. But let's talk about the amount of time. In order to have a band, a competition band, compete at the highest level, because you guys were state finalists, what do you have to do? How do we get to that level?
It is mostly just a huge mental game. It's really, because it comes to some point where you're far into the season, you're doing this for 6 months. It's really just your body's kind of giving out, but you have to keep pushing. But at the same time, you're also really having fun. And that's the really good thing about big marching.
You guys find out the crowd likes to watch the band. Lawrence is a favorite because you guys always have a fancy show. That's Dr. Smith speaking, but I know I'm not speaking band language, directors, but you always have a crowd-pleasing show, and it takes a lot of time and energy to do that. Give me something else. What else do you guys do? When do you start band competition and practice? You guys start once we get back in school. Do you start in the summer? What do you guys do?
See, we first start out in the summer. like I want to say like late June, and then like all throughout July, and then once our band camp is over, that's when our competition like starts, and that's when everyone starts to get hype, and everyone is all excited for that. So.
There's certainly a lot of hype behind the Marching Pride. Directors, and you guys put a lot of time in, and we appreciate what you do, but what about during the school day? How do we connect the after school and the school day, the band?
That's a big question.
Yeah.
Well, as Dr. Smith mentioned, you know, we have one marching band, but our concert programs are separate at the two different high schools. And I think what we do, in order for MPLT to be competitive, we follow essentially the same curriculum, just at two different schools. So Devin and I and Ms. Batley and Mr. Burrow, we collaborate a lot on ensuring that, again, even though we're in separate buildings, we're using the same language.
Absolutely.
We're teaching the same material. You know, we're achieving the same goals. So, in terms from a pedagogical standpoint, we like that. That's how we connect the marching band to the concert band programs. But we also do things like encourage, you know, LC students to go and attend LN band concerts, and LN band students to attend LC concerts.
And we even did it side by side this fall.
Yeah, we did. We had our fall concert was a joint concert, and we actually have the middle schools doing the same thing.
Right.
So the middle schools had a side by side concert this year, and we invited LN over to do a joint concert with the LC band. So we try to push the narrative that we are one band program. We're
One
two
community.
Yeah. Separate buildings, but we're one
Right.
program.
So when the Marching Pride comes together, you're one, and then once we get into the winter time and you have your own concert series, you guys do separate and you both compete. But you are certainly partners as you go through that. Ladies and gentlemen, we have superstars on the stage. They're really humbled. These were state finalists. I really enjoyed attending the state finalists and watching the Marching Pride compete against bands from across the state of Indiana. It's really special to go down to Lucas Oil Stadium and compete at that. They also competed in Bands of America, and I just want to thank our directors and our students for the high level of performance, the high level of energy that you put in and the time you put in to be able to compete at that level. And we have a history of excellence. We like to win, don't we, folks?
Yes, we do.
Okay? And they have assured me that they're going to continue to work hard, and they're going to bring the superintendents some big trophies next year. So I appreciate all of you coming to our show. I've set the bar high, and I know that the next group and the directors are going to make it happen. Congratulations, Marching Pride.
Thank you.
And thank you for this segment of Lawrence Live. It's basketball season, folks. I got some guys coming on to talk about basketball in Lawrence Township. Hello and welcome back to the second segment of Lawrence Live. I'm Dr. Sean Smith, Superintendent for the Metropolitan School District of Lawrence Township. I'm so excited. This afternoon I'm joined with our basketball coaches. Matter of fact, they're all new basketball coaches. I'm going to start all the way to my far right with Coach Giffen from Lawrence North, who's just taken over for the boys. We've got Coach Lampley, the new girls coach at Lawrence Central, and our new girls coach at Lawrence North, Coach Thomas. Welcome, all three of you. No fighting, no fighting. Break it up. Break it up. They all know each other. Friendly competition and fire between the three. But I'm so honored to have our basketball coaches here, and it's a great opportunity. We have three individuals here who are all in new roles. They've been with us. They're familiar with us. But, guys, it's all new this year. And I got to pick on the veteran over here, Coach Giffen, who coached the girls for how long, Coach?
10 years.
10 years. I got to go a lot of places with him. And we know that. A lot of great. But now he's the boys' coach. Coach Giffen, major adjustment. How's it going?
It's still pretty surreal, actually.
Yes.
With Coach Kiefer was at the big township game the other night, and I told him afterwards, it's I don't even go in his office. I refer to it as his office still. So, and I mean that wholeheartedly, actually. So that part of it's surreal. Basketball is basketball, though.
Right.
You know, it's bigger, stronger, a little bit faster. But I was fortunate always on the girls' side to have really good athletes and players as well. So the X's and O's they take care of themselves.
Right. You know how to coach, but boys and girls are just a little bit different.
Sure,
In the way you
yeah.
have to approach them. And we just got it out there out front. You took over for a coach that coached for 46 years. So that's a whole different ballgame, folks. And so far, he's off to a great start. And I know you coach with him, and you coached for him before. You
Yeah.
worked with
Mhm.
Coach Kiefer, and I know how important that is in Lawrence Township. But then a young man that took over your program over here, Coach Thomas. So welcome, Coach Thomas. Your first year as the coach of our ladies, and you got a little bit of pressure. 10 years, a few state championship runs.
Absolutely.
Coach Giffen, I counted 4 semi-states. Is that right? Did I count
Correct.
that right?
Mhm.
And I look along the wall, you got a lot of pressure. It's okay. No, we'll call the paramedics in here in a second. But a lot of Indiana All-Stars, you've taken over a good program.
Yes.
How's it feel?
It's great. I get to be able to work still alongside Coach Giffen. He's been a great mentor to me. He's given me the keys to such a successful program, and a lot of those athletes that he said and that we just talked about. He's helped us in developing those, and right now, the product that we have is a huge piece of his foundation that he's laid. So being a first year and everything being your first. It can ask for a better setup and a better group of girls to be the leadership of.
And Coach, you're familiar. You were an assistant coach, so you know everyone's first name. You know all the young ladies that are out there and new ones that you brought to the table. And then said someone sitting next to you over there. She wants to knock you off there. Coach Lampley, welcome, the new coach at Lawrence Central High School. How are things going for you and your young ladies?
Everything has been great. Obviously, it's a process. We're not as storied as our sister school. Nonetheless, we strive to have that type of success. So we're at the beginning of our process. It is work, but like Coach Giffen said, the X and O's are the X and O's, and it's the daily interaction with the kids. I love it. I tell them all the time it's an honor to be in their basketball journey. So I'm honored to be their coach.
Absolutely. Very humble. Coach Lampley was with us last year also. And they make a little bit of noise over at Coach Thomas. They got some girls who can play. So Doc has been in the gym to witness firsthand what you're trying to do, and it's great. Let's just talk about kids in general, all three of you,
Sure.
and what makes you tick. How do you work with today's kids? Basketball is a big deal in this community. Let's just put it out there. Lawrence is really good. I pick up the state program, and this community's had more Indiana All-Stars than any community in the state of Indiana. We've got state championships. What makes basketball so special here on the northeast side?
You're looking at me,
Yeah,
Steve.
I'm looking at you as normal.
I think obviously, as you said, in Indiana as a whole, it's special, and it's certainly a little different here. And I think kids, both boys and girls alike, pick it up earlier maybe than the average state, and not so much that they pick it up, but the intensity to which they pick it up, and the commitment that is made from an early age. Again, both boys and girls alike. I think that's what makes it perhaps a little more special here.
I turn on the television and I see former students of ours are competing at the college level and the professional level. As I see Jake LaRavia from Lawrence Central High School, and I'm watching the game, so it's really special here. And Coach Giffen pointed out something that in this community, not only are our boys good, but our girls are really good. We get some good girls. So I saw Jayla at Purdue, and it's just really special watching this community evolve with basketball. But let's talk about your team. So Coach Thomas, tell us what can we expect from the girls this year?
We've got an exciting group, a very special group that we've had and been in their lives and building relationships for a long time now. We've got a great senior leadership group, which always helps. Having that experience, leading from the top. As you said, that group has been a part of the state championships. They've been a part of the sectional, regional, semi-state. The journey, the one game tournament, as we've been referring to it. But as Coach Lampley said, it's a part of the process, right? Each team is different in their identity. I really believe that our team has bought into our identity as a group, and they developing that trust in each other that is out there. That as me being a head coach, that's a special thing to see on the sideline. So as she said, I'm just honored to be a part of it.
Absolutely. Coach Lampley, what can we expect from the ladies?
Well, that is an excellent question. We're very young, but we're also very talented. And as we know as coaches, when you have youth, you sometimes can have some inconsistencies. So at times, and the inconsistency can be game to game, it could be quarter to quarter. And so I just try to evolve with them. But at the end of the day, we have a product out on the floor that's competitive, that's
Absolutely.
fun to watch, and I think they represent Lawrence Township very well.
Yes, you're doing a good job, Coach. A great job. Coach Giffen, what about the boys? We got that Lawrence Central, Lawrence North game out of the way the other night.
That's a tough one for both sides, and that was different for me on the boys' side. It's very electric on the girls' side too, and I was an assistant years ago on the boys' side, but to be the head coach on the boys' side was certainly a different feel. It was nice to have Coach Kiefer back, and Coach Gooden's somebody I have a tremendous amount of respect for. He's a Hall of Famer in his own right. So, and he's been good to me over the years when I've solicited information from him. So, my team is younger too, actually. I'm fortunate to have some interchangeable parts and some versatility at different spots, and certainly got a high level of athleticism and physical qualities, but I think we've got to, get a little further down the road mentally with a mental approach to the game. And when we do that, I think this is a team that's quite capable of being very competitive in the state landscape, for sure.
Absolutely. Very, very dangerous. I'll tell you what, I'm partial to all three of them. I've enjoyed watching all three of you coach so far this year, and have been on the trail with all of you and watching your careers, and you're all going to have a great career here. We hire the best folks, and I've got three of them sitting here on the couch. You two behave yourself, because I'll see you Saturday morning competing for the Marion County Championship, the two girls teams, which is, that's funny how that worked out. Well, you can see each other there. That's good.
I think that's a great representation of Lawrence Township.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, man,
It's going to be a good one, Chris Giffen.
Yeah.
So get your tickets early, folks. It's going to be a really good one. And Coach Giffen taking over for Jack Kiefer is not an easy task, and I have to say that. His resume speaks for itself, but Coach Giffen brings a lot to the table. He's not a rookie, but he's new this year to the boys, and I had to put him on the couch here and bring him in early, because he's certainly going to take off. And I want to thank all three of you for what you do with girls and boys basketball in this community, and it's a big deal, and it brings a lot of pride and a lot of excellence in Lawrence Township. For when I sit on my couch at home and I watch a Tony Perkins or a C.J. Gunn, a Jayla Smith competing on a national level, it says a lot about our community. We all out there in Lawrence TV land need to be very proud of that. So thank you, coaches. Thank you for this segment of Lawrence Live. They'll be back, because somebody's going to bring me a trophy at the end of the year. How about that? How about that?
We'll
They
do our
didn't
best.
have their prop back here, but they're going to bring me something. So they will be back and bring some great players back to visit us here soon. So thank you for this segment of Lawrence Live.